It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another teaser trailer breakdown for an upcoming episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This is my teaser trailer breakdown for Season 6, Episode 12, which is called In Dreams. This episode actually looks like it's gonna be a very good and intense episode, so stay tuned, we'll be right back to break down this trailer. Alright, before we get into this, as always, if you're not a subscriber and enjoyed the content by the end, consider subscribing to join our community, share and smash the like button and press the bell to be notified when we upload. If you have not yet watched Season 6 Episode 11, which was called The Holding, you may want to do that first before you continue watching this video, because what I talk about in this breakdown will most likely spoil some of the big moments from the previous episode. So you might want to watch that episode first before you watch this breakdown. So this teaser starts with this shot of Morgan looking outside, and then there's like a gunshot and then the glass shatters. Now obviously based on where the last episode ended, what's most likely happening here is that the remaining members of the End is the Beginning group are probably after Morgan. They're definitely specifically looking for Morgan because he has something that they want. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the next shot we have is actually this shot of Grace. She's lying down, and if you take a look, it looks like obviously she's not doing too well. Now if you look at the way this is shot, it looks like there is a filter on there, as if this is some sort of a hallucination or a dream sequence. I'm leaning towards this being a hallucination, which is a result of Grace going into labor and not doing so well. But obviously, if we look at the title, which is In Dreams, it could also mean that this is a dream sequence. But I'm just leaning towards this being some sort of a hallucination. The next shot we have is this shot of a walker. In the voiceover, we have who I'm assuming is June saying, "Tell me where you are, I'll try to get you." I think she's talking to Grace. I could obviously be wrong. Now this walker right here, at first glance, I thought was Wes, but it's not Wes. It's actually this walker right here. Then we get this shot of these nasty looking walkers. We can still see that filter that I was talking about. So this is in the point of view of Grace. And then we have this shot of Grace lying down. Again, there's that filter on there, so some sort of a dream sequence or a hallucination. Then we get this shot of Grace looking at this car with the spray painted message, "The End." I'm assuming the same people that spray painted this car are the same people that spray painted the walls with the message, "The End is the Beginning." And I'm assuming that this was spray painted by one of the members of the End is the Beginning group. If it's a dream sequence or a hallucination, then it's just all in Grace's head. But if it's real, then that means that obviously the End is the Beginning group continued doing what they were doing before, even after most of their members were destroyed and their community was burned down to the ground by Alicia. Then we get this shot of members of the End is the Beginning approaching this window. I'm assuming this is the exact same scene that we saw earlier, where Morgan was standing behind the windows, and we also do see, I would say, Teddy's right-hand man in the background. I think they revealed his name, but I don't remember it right now. But obviously Teddy is the leader of the End is the Beginning group, but the guy that we see in the background is the exact same guy that we saw in the previous episode. And then we get this shot of some bones and skeletons, and then this pretty interesting shot of Grace looking at something. I think these are walkers behind the glass, but I could be wrong. And then we get this shot of the same walker, the one that I initially thought was Wes. The walker reaches out to get whoever is there, and I'm assuming that, again, because of the filter, it's Grace that's actually there. Then we get this shot of one of the members of the End is the Beginning group. In the voiceover, the main guy says Morgan Jones. And then we get another shot of him again. And then he says, "You've been a hard man to find." So obviously they're looking for him. The reason why they're looking for him is actually because he has the key. If you remember, he fought some of the members of the End is the Beginning group a few episodes ago, and he found the key on them that he took. The key, I'm assuming, is the key that's gonna get them to the submarine that we saw in the very first episode of season 6. I could obviously be wrong about that, but that's where it feels like they're going with the story. Now I will be doing another video right after this talking about the key and the submarine and how I think everything is going to connect together and how I think that it's going to link up to an even bigger storyline that's much bigger than Fear the Walking Dead with the CRM, and how I think all of these may actually come together to make the Morgan and Rick reunion happen. I'll talk about all of that in a separate video, but this pretty much reveals that they are definitely looking for Morgan specifically. Then we get this shot of Morgan fighting one of the members of the End is the Beginning group. He stabs one of them in the guts here, and then we get this shot of the walker on top of Grace. Again, there's the filter, so it's some sort of a dream sequence or hallucination, and then another shot of the walker on top of Grace. Now, I am predicting that Grace is not actually gonna die, and all of this is just a hallucination, but I could obviously be wrong. But I don't think they're gonna kill Grace in this episode. I think because she's going through labor and she's not doing too well, it's just the side effects of that that's leading her to have these hallucinations, or maybe she's just out cold or something and she's having these dream sequences. And then we get this shot of Morgan looking at who I'm assuming is Grace. Again, the filter is on there, so this is Grace's point of view. Morgan actually points to his eyes and to Grace and says eyes and ears, so I'm assuming Morgan is saying, listen to me, look at me, and I'll get you out of here, or something along those lines. And then we get another shot of the guy again, the key member of the End is the Beginning group, Teddy's right-hand man, saying, you have something we want. I talked about that. I think that's the key that Morgan took. And then we get this shot of Grace screaming Morgan, and then this shot of a car that is burning. This could be the exact same car that we saw Morgan in, and the same car that said the end, or had the spray painted message the end, but I could obviously be wrong about that. Now, do I think Morgan is gonna die? Hell no. But at the same time, I have a feeling that they're gonna do something where Grace might think Morgan is dead, but they're gonna reveal later that Morgan is actually not dead. But that's pretty much everything that was in this teaser. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, make sure to share and smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to join our community and press the bell to be notified when we upload. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.